What is up, everybody? What is up? I know I'm little over here. So let me zoom in a second on this screen. So yeah, we're here with some of our friends, and we're gonna be playing a new format called Heroic today. And we're just gonna kind of go around the room a little bit, chat a few before we jump into the gameplay, and we'll introduce everybody. So we've got our special guest, yBreezy is here. The
That's
boy
me.
that loves the llama.
I do love the llama. I am doing great. I have problems already about this format. Let me play Cusco. I want there should be a rule where it says Cusco is a legendary. It doesn't matter.
Now we got to do the petition to Ravensburger to make Cusco have a legendary card.
Yes, I will fight for this every single day if I have to.
Yeah, so we released our video this morning, kind of explaining the premise of the format and everything. And we had a lot of comments coming in, a lot of good thoughts from different people. So we've been kind of taking those in, and we definitely heard some people, a couple different people saying like, hey, I don't like that it has to be legendary. Usually a good legendary is a pricier card. Could it be something else? I saw somebody suggest like maybe the Floodborn label. I've seen another person say maybe it has to be a hero or a villain subtype on the card. So definitely things we're going to take into consideration as we kind of work through this format, because it's evolving.
Yeah,
We're just
introducing
it.
I love that it's an evolving thing. I love that there's gonna be a change, because like day one, I mean, other singleton formats, they had a lot of cards, they had a lot of years, and they had a lot of evolution within it. So I think there's gonna be there's a lot of room to improve, and I'm really excited to get into that, because this might be start of something magical. No pun intended, I guess.
Yeah. And I think Prashaun, just a heads up on your side, I think you may have audio coming back in with some echo and stuff, but
I do.
I think so. I think when Breezy was talking, it was coming across on yours, but no worries as we get it all fixed up.
I'm worried about my camera right now. It's all blurry.
But yes, I mean, like, when it comes to this stuff, we all love Lorcana. We all love playing it. I'm just in the world where I love the competitive scene, but at the same time, I just don't like to grind. I don't like to pick up one deck and play for hours upon hours, unless I'm at a tournament. It's different, but every day on stream and stuff. So want to make some exciting content. Excited to jump into something multiplayer, something different than the current format, because even realistically, multiplayer is going to get to be the same thing. There's going to be one or two of the best decks, and at least with a format like this, potentially, hopefully, we'll start to see some fun stuff coming up with people playing. And I'm gonna throw it over to GC real quick. So GC, I know we got started with this a little while ago. We've actually played some test games and things like that with it. But I mean, what are your thoughts in general? I mean, you're newer to the TCG world in general, and especially newer to Lorcana, but you dove in.
Yeah, big thing that I like about this format right off the bat, being a newer player who has not seen all the cards, is the fact that it's 100 singleton format.
Mm-hmm.
Really allows me to play around with different cards that I'm not normally playing. Maybe I like the fact that it's 3 colors as well, because as a new player, maybe you've gotten used to 2 colors and you're comfortable with those 2, and you want to test drive a 3rd color and kind of get there and get into that, which is kind of where this deck is. Actually, I play a lot of Amethyst Steel when I do play, and so I've just kind of thrown the Sapphire in here to kind of play around with a little bit with that ramp and ink manipulation. So yeah, that's probably my biggest thing, is that it's just so much easier. I mean, it was kind of hard to pull 100 cards out of the collection to put together, but it's so much easier to just kind of see new cards, experience the game and all the different card text in a big way. Because I mean, just reading the cards isn't a huge amount of fun. I rather see them in action,
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, and speaking of putting these decks together and tearing these decks apart. I know all you know, yourself, Prashaun, Brad, Guest, we're all over here just a little while ago for SnapCon, and we were playing this thing with 5 people, and then you all left, and I had to pull all those decks apart, try to categorize 500 plus cards and where they go in the collection. But it's fun. Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's using a lot of cards that you maybe don't get competitive play currently, and you know, trying to see what's maybe out there. Of course, there's gonna be some good ones that are staples that are gonna carry over here too, but definitely we're getting to see some cards that haven't seen play at all in a standard format, and most likely, well, if I'm being honest, just because they just aren't powerful enough one-on-one, but definitely a lot better when it comes to multiplayer. So for Sean, I know you're still working on your camera over there, but from your perspective, I know you've been in Lorcana with us for a while now. You know, you've opened packs, you've got a bunch of cards and things like that, but when you were kind of putting your deck together and picking your cards and things like that, like, what's something that stuck out to you? Was it, you know, just the cards in general and like abilities, or were you trying to find, you know, some interactions where like, hey, this card and that card look really cool, and you haven't really seen them before? Like, what were your thoughts when you were trying to kind of put everything together?
Well, I tried to go the easy route and just look at a deck I had made already and had 60 cards of. But when you like grab each, like one of each, you're like, oh crap, I only have 20 cards. So it's like you're digging through your collection to see what synergizes with each other. You're trying to look through and see like what affects everybody at the same time. So that was like one of the things I searched throughout building the deck. And then like I think the last problem I ran into last time was like lore. So I was like, all right, what locations can I use just to cheat out lore? Because all of us are going at each other, and like there's barely any creatures on the board the whole time. So those like things I try to keep in mind as building my deck.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that being said, guys, we're gonna kind of go around the room and just kind of explain the cards that we picked, and then you know, during this process, I'm gonna be explaining what heroic is. If you guys are hanging out in chat, feel free, use the chat, talk to us, ask questions, things like that. We'll let you know. But I'm also gonna be trying to explain the different rules and everything. If you haven't watched the video, definitely check that out over on the YouTube. But we're going to start with our storyboard. So the way this new format heroic works, and again, all of this is subject to change based on more and more playing, community feedback, things like that. But you've got a 100 card deck, but you've got 3 special cards that we are calling the storyboard. So essentially, if you watch any Disney movie, you're going to have your main character, your hero of the story, their trusted ally, sidekick, and then that iconic song, you know, that gets stuck in your head. Kids sing it 24/7, and you just hear it all the time. And that is really the basis of what your storyboard is. So you've got your hero being a legendary character. Your sidekick, your ally, needs to have the ally tag or the subtype on the character, and then a song that can be sung by your main character. So you have to keep that in mind when looking at your ink cost, your main character, and that song. So I'm gonna throw it over to you, Breezy. What 3 cards did you pick, and what made you pick these 3 cards? And how do you think you're gonna do today?
So this was a very interesting challenge because like I love a good singleton idea because like it's fun. You get to play cards that you don't really read, and originally when the idea was pitched, okay, can I play Cusco? I didn't read the rest. I was like, oh, it's not a legendary. Okay, we'll just play Cusco. So my idea was to basically play Cusco, Tinkerbell, and then a song that I wasn't sure what I wanted to do yet. So what initially the idea was play Cusco and play the green emerald good stuff because Cusco is my favorite card. And then this Tinkerbell is the first pack that I ever opened. This one specifically is the first pack I ever opened. I got from the Sapphire Steel pack. So I packed that card, and I love Steel as well. And the blue, like that kind of stuck forever. And then friends on the other side, just who doesn't want to draw 2 cards every day? Pot of Greed is one of my favorite cards of all time. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! So I was like, it's funny, might as well draw the 2 cards. And then the kind of after that was kind of the okay, these are the cards we're gonna pick, and then how we make a good deck out of it was, well, it's quite simple. I just looked up each opponent in any card in these colors, and the one common theme I saw in the one of my favorite inks, the steel, is that we can do damage to each opponent. A lot of them. Grab your swords, Giant Tinkerbell, even Chief Bogo shows up. So once we figure that out, how do we gain benefits from that? Well, Emerald does that. Robin Hood's and Pack Tactics, one of my favorite cards that never saw any play, is one of the best cards to consider. So that's kind of what we wanted. I want to ping and then gain benefits from pinging everyone, and then draw a bunch of cards, because that's kind of my Amethyst package. Truly, I want to draw cards and then ping a bunch and win. So that's kind of what it started. And Diablo is basically, if it's sideways, if you don't get rid of it, I'm gonna draw like a gazillion cards. So it's just gain hand advantage, ping, and then profit.
Absolutely. And there's definitely a few cards to kind of point out that we have our eye on. We've played with a bunch of these, and so far they haven't been a problem outside of one. So if you guys watch the video, A Whole New World is not banned from being in the format. You can have it in your 97 cards. You just can't have it as your iconic song. What we found was if that thing gets cast like 3 times, everybody's discarding a lot of cards. And when you're in a singleton format, most of the time there's not many cards in Lorcana in general that can get things back out of your discard. So at this point, it just felt really bad when you had to discard, 10 to 12 cards that you just couldn't use. It's definitely one of those where you kind of mentioned, Breezy, about like hitting all players and things like that, because there's a lot of cards that do that in this format. And again, not really helpful in 1v1, but when you get to multiplayer, they're definitely good.
Yeah. And like there's a lot of Floodborns too, so I can benefit that too. There's a bunch of options here. I really enjoy how that like red in my, hopefully it plays out the way I have in mind, where I can basically bounce a bunch of cards that already do damage on board and then repeat that as much as possible as well. There's some really funny cards that I saw, like Robin Hood, the new 9-cost one. That basically is a 0 cost if it's done right. So there's just a lot of fun interactions that I figured out in this little time I had, and hopefully it works out and I don't just draw like 7 uninkables and cry.
Absolutely. So GC, we'll head over to you. What 3 cards do you bring in? What kind of synergies you got in your deck? What you got for us?
Yeah, so up for our hero, our legendary Grandma Tala. She's got a shift 5, which I think in this format's really important because it's how you can get around your attacks. So I really like picking a hero that has shift. And this is whenever a card is put into your inkwell, gain 1 lore. It doesn't matter if she's sideways, from my understanding, just as long as she's on my playfield. She's also only a 7 cost. So I'm not. I thought about maybe switching her out from Mufasa, but with the ink tax coming in, I wanted to make sure that I can get her back out, especially in the late game, to drive that pressure and have some kind of engine to gather lore. We've got Isabel here, picking an evasive ally. I like the ability to have some sort of answer for evasive just kind of on hand next to me, especially Isabel specifically, having ladies first during your turn. If no other character has quested this turn, this character gets 3 lore. So if I can get 4 lore just with her, tapping her out again, having some kind of mechanism there to have pressure either in burst with Isabel or over a long time with Grandma. And but of course, when she does quest, you have to leave it to her, and nobody else is allowed to quest after her. And then I picked up Along Came Zeus, specifically looking again for a steel song, since I had Amethyst and Sapphire here already represented. And I just like being able to do 5 damage to a location. That's a big part of why I put this in here. I think locations are really strong, especially in this format, where it is a race to 30 instead of 20. There's a lot more options and targets that people have to consider. and so your locations tend to allow for that passive income a lot more. Aside from that, it's very similar in the deck composition that we used down in Tampa during that play test, except I ripped out all of the magic brooms and any synergy near magic brooms, because in a 100-card deck, unless you're running those sweet Dalmatian puppies, I just don't see you guessing the next card in a singleton format. And then I just kind of solely replaced those with cards that I did not have back in that first play test, namely Giant Tinkerbell from set 1, and then everything in set 5, including Mufasa and just some other fun set 5 cards that I thought I'd try out.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Again, as you saw during that play test when everybody was here, there was definitely a lot of cards that stood out, a lot of cards that were kind of like so-so. As we were going through. So it's always good to take those notes, especially as we do this type of format, hopefully on a weekly basis. We have different guests coming on and off and things like that. You guys can kind of see what these cards do. So I'll go through my deck real quick, and then I'll throw it over to Prashaun. So pretty much for me, I've got Mufasa running as my legendary. So again, pretty good card. Essentially, he's 8, non-inkable, but you don't care if he's inkable or not because he's up here. When he comes down, if you guys don't know, just because Mufasa is new to the format, when he comes down, I get to put 2 random cards in my inkwell back into my hand. So technically, it slows me down a little bit. But what I believe and what we found for the most part in this format is you can get a lot of cards, especially if you're playing the ramp in the blue. You can get a lot of cards in your ink. So getting 2 back is actually helpful from time to time because you may get some of those good cards back in your hand. He taps for 4 lore, and then when he taps to quest, you can untap your ink and essentially keep playing for that turn. So really, really powerful. This is a card, and it's one of the reasons why I picked it. This is one of the cards that are on our watch list. I mentioned A Whole New World being one of those cards that we've already banned from the iconic songs. But Simba is on our watch list as far as being one of your heroes. So he's still legal right now, but we want to see with more games if he just ends up being too good in that spot. The ally I picked is Diablo. So just, much like Breezy and his Diablo, if you get this guy sideways, you're literally going to draw 3 cards before it comes back to your turn, as long as he stays on the field. So he needs to be answered, or you're going to get a lot of good card draw. And again, with 100 cards, you want card draw. And then I picked a song here that has Sing Together. So I wanted to see, like GC has Shift on a character, which can, get around that ink tax, which we'll talk a little bit about by shifting onto a target. I figured Sing Together, we'll see how good it is. Now, ink tax is still going to come into play here. The first time I cast it, it's going to be 6. If I've cast anything else, it's going to be 7. So I'm going to need a little bit more on the board to sing it. But being able to take away 2 lore from everybody seems pretty good in my book. So that is what I got here. The deck itself, I've got a lot of all opponents type cards in here. A little bit of discard, a little bit of removal in the red package, a lot of bit of ramp in the blue. So it's just kind of a good stuff deck. I wanted to bring a solid deck to showcase the format for this first episode, and I think next episode I'm gonna go a little crazy with it. We may get some super fun decks over there. That is what I'm bringing. I'm gonna throw it over to Prashaun, and we'll let him explain the cards as they come up on screen.
Yeah, they're a little frosted right now, but for some odd reason, my camera decided to go full on blur for some odd reason. But I do have Mufasa. I think you guys can see it there. Gosh, this horrible.
You have to like play every card super close to you.
Yeah, this is gonna be bad. Yeah. So I decided to go with Mufasa, ruler of Pride Rock. because it's a new card, and I feel like this card can finish games for me for the most part. And I feel like throughout like the game, I have enough cards to have plenty of ink, and then possibly use that ink since we do have one of each, right? So I don't know what I ink or not, especially like one jump ahead and cards like that. So with Mufasa, it gives me the chance to actually possibly play a card that I didn't know that I inked for surprise plays. And then I added Tinkerbell, Giant Fairy, just because she does 1 damage to each opposing character, which I think is pretty cool, especially since there's 3 other opponents. It does damage all across the board. And then Be Prepared to, I just wanted something that would affect everyone as well. And that just cleans off every character from the board. So I just wanted to make sure like I had something to finish the game and then something that would affect everybody else as well.
Yeah. And kind of speaking of Be Prepared, that's another card that I wouldn't necessarily consider to be on our watch list, but I know it's as soon as we kind of started putting stuff out there, people said like, hey, what if Be Prepared is the card, the song that's being sung all the time? And honestly, I know when we played the other day, there was a Be Prepared being ran like that, but you know, they have to use their entire turn to board wipe, and then everybody else gets to go. They put more stuff down on the field. So then because of that ink tax, they kind of get in this loop to where sure, they can board wipe over and over and over, but they're not doing anything else. They're not progressing their board. So it didn't seem as strong as it sounds. And I know GC, you mentioned in one of the comments today over on X, going back and forth of just saying like, I remember you were begging. You're like, hey, I'm fine with losing this character as long as you kill those 5 characters that matter. So, and I think you're muted if you're chatting.
Especially coming kind of new into TCGs, right? Like I've played TCGs before, but never. This is the most serious I've ever been. Is with Lorcana. And I've never really played the MTG like Commander format or any other TCG multiplayer format. Yep. So it is I think a really cool thing about the storyboard as well, having like these 3 options here that we all know everyone's got access to as long as they've got the ink to spend, and using those as negotiation and bargaining chips to stall out the next person who's about to win is a very interesting part about this multiplayer format that I've really enjoyed.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, if you guys haven't seen the video, you're not really sure what's going on with this format, I'll give you a quick rundown with it. As we go through, definitely ask questions along the way. Same thing goes for all of us playing. If you have questions and things like that, feel free to ask. I'm gonna be trying to pull up cards on screen as well. I've got this nifty little tool. Oh, what's the tool? Just decided not to share anymore. Let me see. It's getting up. But I've got a nifty little tool where I can pull up the cards on screen. It may take me a second to pull them up, but as we go through it, there's cards you have questions about, things like that. We can pull it up on screen, talk about it as we go. But the way Heroic works is instead of going to 20 lore, we're going to be going to 30 lore. So we just decided the more we play tested and went, like 20 lore came too quickly, 40 lore was definitely too slow. And so with that being said, we kind of ended up at the 30 mark. It is free for all. So if any card that you have says target opponent, you will need to select which opponent. But if you have cards that say all opponents, it will hit all 3 of your opponents. So that's going to be a really cool mechanic that we don't see in any of the other Lorcana formats currently, as multiplayer really doesn't happen much. Occasionally at some of the DLCs, but not too often. Outside of that, we've got our storyboard. We mentioned these are our 3 special cards. If you played Commander and Magic, it's similar to that. They're going to stay right outside our hand. They are going to be able to be played at any point, casting with their cost. So as long as you're paying their cost, you can play the card. But every time you play one of these cards, you're going to be adding to what we call the the tax. So the ink tax. If I were to play Mufasa, my ink tax is going to go up 1. If I want to play Diablo is now going to cost 3 plus 1, so it's going to cost 4 to play. One way to get around that when it comes to characters is shift. You are still going to be able to pay its normal shift cost. So if it had like shift 5 for a Robin Hood, because maybe Robin Hood is who you're using, will cost 5. As long as you have a Robin Hood to put him down on, which is kind of your the thing that you have to have in play, which is harder than it sounds. When you have 100 cards and you're trying to search for a shift target. As far as your song, you can cast your song anytime you want. You can sing your song, totally fine. You can sing it with whatever character you want. Just keep in mind the cost plus the ink tax. That is what it's going to cost to sing this card now. So in this case, this is going to be 7. It cost me 7 to sing my song as we go through. And again, we mentioned it, but when building your deck, your song must be equal to or less than the cost of your hero or your legendary card in order to make a proper storyboard for your deck. Outside of that, everything else is going to work as it normally does. You're going to draw your 7 cards. We're going to go through our mulligans, and then we will start with player 1, which we will determine based on a die roll. So everybody's going to roll some d6s, and whoever has the highest number will be going first. I have a 7, and we have a question in chat. So do the storyboard characters return to the storyboard one turn or only after they're banished? So it is when they get banished. When your cards are banished from your storyboard, you have the choice of putting them back in the storyboard. You can put them in your discard pile because maybe you have like a revive or something like that. You want to use that instead of having to pay the ink cost or the ink tax on them. Or maybe they got bounced back to your hand. You can have them go back to your hand. Anytime they were to change their location, so from from play to somewhere, from hand to somewhere, from discard to somewhere, you have the choice of putting them back into the storyboard to be able to use in the future along with that ink tax. All right, so what do we get on numbers? Breezy got a 3.
I'm at a 10.
What do you got? A 6, a blurry 6.
A blurry 6. Sorry, guys.
So GC, you're gonna go first, and then it will be clockwise. So Breezy will go next, myself, and Prashaun. When you go first in this format, you will still draw for turn. So go ahead and draw our 7 and do any mulligans we may want to do.
This is so interesting in the mulligan because like there's no like true like lines where you're like, okay, turn 1 I'll daisy, turn 2 I do this, and then so on. There's just I'm like, all right, this card seems all right.
I think the biggest thing is just making sure you have ink, so you're like looking through your turns of when you would want to do your ink is the biggest one. But I do agree with you. It's a lot harder because you don't know what you're looking for.
I'm gonna send 3. 1, 2, 3. Let me go shuffle.
I'll send 4.
I'm gonna just do 2.
Ooh.
I don't know. I think the hardest decision is, do I really want to shuffle this 100-card deck again?
That's the biggest problem right now. I immediately regretted, like, the 7 was fine. I do have a question because, like, the format genuinely is a very fascinating one, and I think it has potential to be like amazingly huge. What made you decide 30 versus 40? Because I noticed the length, but like, was there a difference in like significant where it's like, because like usually the comparison commander where the 40 is the number. That game is about like an hour, between an hour and 2. So did the 40 take more than that? Just give or take.
So we've done a good bit of testing, and then to go back to our Tampa playtest where we had a lot of these guys in town for another event. They came over and played. We decided in that day we were going to do let's go to 20. Let's see how long it took. And that took about, I don't know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, something like that. Happened pretty quickly. Then we went to 30. 30 we hit at about an hour and 15, somewhere around in there. And then we were like, okay, well, let's go to 40 and let's just see what it feels like. The 40 took forever and a day. I think we were playing for like 3.5 hours or something like that.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
it
too
was
long.
a long time.
Gotcha. So 30 is that sweet spot.
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying 20 isn't feasible with more and more playtesting, because again, I think the community are going to play these decks very differently. But what we found is once you got to like that 30 mark, you were kind of in a good spot for ink. You could literally cast anything you wanted to. And that's where we hit the problem where like people are using Be Prepared a lot. People are using the removal spells or your 8 drops or 9 drops. And so the board kept kind of being clean a lot. And it was, to kind of GC's point with locations, you ended up winning from locations once you got over that 30 lore.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. No, that makes sense. I was curious.
Yeah, and we'll see. Like again, playing tonight.
Yeah.
We're starting at 8:40 at this point. So we'll see what it looks like and how long it takes and all that. And
Well, I am ready whenever everyone else is.
good, we're good. All right, GC, your turn, sir.
All right. Well, I will draw for turn. And we will ink The Prince Never Gives Up. And I will pass my
Ooh.
turn.
All right, lovely turn. I will draw. Okay, this is. I swear this is not a constructed deck. I promise. I'll ink a Crab Merlin, and I will play a Chernobog.
He lies.
And I'll pass.
All right, I'm gonna draw for turn. I'm also gonna say this is not a constructed deck because I'm going to ink an Alice. And then here's the tricky one. All right, I'm gonna play my 1-drop Diablo.
Ooh.
So 1-drop Diablo says I can look at all opponent's hand. And technically there's really no good way of doing this over camera outside of
Just no one else looks.
yeah. So I at this point I don't think it matters. We can just show hands, and
I think that's public information at that point, right?
yeah.
That's
I mean, like all you gotta do is ask me and I'll tell you what's in their hand. So all right, so we've got some item removal. I'm looking at GC's real quick. We got Cogsworth, it's gonna be a problem. Item removal, so you don't want to do that. Then you can give his guys evasive and stuff. We've got a fox. Yeah, again, looking like standard construction over there. A whole new world fox. Turn to
Good
bog. Loving those cards. All right, and then Prashaun, what type of removal do you have up there?
So I got my camera to work like 2 seconds,
I
and then
saw
it
it.
zoomed in on something.
beautiful.
It like
clear, and
zoomed
then it
in on
wasn't.
something. I don't know why, but I have Rapunzel, Dig a Little Deeper, Glean, Raya, Belle, Scar, and then along came Zeus.
Okay. All right, and that will be my turn. I'm passing it over to Prashaun.
All right, I'm gonna draw for turn. I'm gonna ink. I'm gonna ink a Glean, and then I'm going to pass turn.
Right.
Wait,
All right.
which part? I'm so sorry.
I will draw for turn. Cool.
Yeah, and I've got just so you guys know, as far as the storyboard characters, you're welcome to have them on your mat. They don't have to be in sight. At the screen, I'm sure you guys have seen with the layouts, you can see what our 3 cards are for everybody.
So I can kind of just like have them like in a corner. That'd be better.
If they're,
Okay, cool.
if they're in the way, you don't have to.
I'm gonna need that
Worry
room
about 'em.
eventually. I feel.
All right. I will go ahead and ink an ice field and bring out Chernobog's followers.
Nice.
All right. And that will pass my turn.
Sweet. I will ready. Draw. Ooh. It's tough. I'll we'll ink the Cricky. And mm, and then we'll just quest for 1. And then now I'm just gonna decide on whether I want to activate Churney. I think I'll activate Churney and then discard it to drop. And I will pass it to you.
Untap, draw. It's so hard because there's like so many good cards that you're like, man, this would be a good card. But all right, I'm going to ink this Hypnotic Deduction, another new 5 card. It's a good one, but it's got some other stuff.
Brainstorm.
We're going to. Oh wait, man, that was wrong. Needed that card. Okay. How do I want to do? Yeah, I meant to not do that. That's, let's. Let's play a Scuttle.
Ooh.
We're gonna look at the top 4 cards, and I think it's an item.
Yeah.
Reveal an item, put in your hand. I'm gonna reveal the signed contract.
Ooh.
And the rest are just gonna go on the bottom, so I don't have to shuffle.
Just reminder, what does the signed contract do?
All right, so signed contract, and I am trying to still get this working so I can share my my phone. Whenever an opponent plays a song, you may draw a card.
Ooh.
Card
Okay.
draw, card draw.
We like that card.
So I did this wrong, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm going to shift my Diablo. I'm gonna pitch my 1 jump ahead.
Ooh.
I thought I had another song, but I wanted to get my Diablo tapped and questing, so I'm gonna quest for 1,
Okay.
and then that will allow me to draw cards.
He found his Diablo. Turn 1. That's crazy. Okay.
And without purple, so I only have 1 Diablo in here.
Oof.
And I will pass it over to Prashaun. Of course,
All right.
I will draw when you draw.
Ooh.
All right, draw for turn. I am. I'm gonna ink Treasures Untold. And then I'm gonna play is it Taffeta? And then each when I play this character, if I have a location in play, everyone loses 1 lore, but I don't have a location in play, so we're good. You're good, Dan.
Also,
So pass turn.
I'm at 1 lore, by the way.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Just trying to be on the board, you know.
There you go. You were first on the board. You were first.
Yeah. I'm just trying to. I want to be the first episode's first on the board person, just for the stat lines purposes, for the record books.
Yeah.
You can just put that in your
The record
resume.
books, the first person to ever officially lore in heroic.
I want to be in the Incast lore forever. That's all.
Did you pass, Prashaun?
Yeah, I passed.
All right, cool. All right, well, untap, draw 1 for turn. Okay. I will ink the Imperial Bowl. Play a Popsicle. When I play this item, I may draw a card. Enjoy that, Dan.
Wow, we're just giving him free draw. Okay, that's cool. That's fine.
I'm answering comments over here.
And then I will use my next 2 ink to play No Eye, Orphaned Thief. While you have an item in play, this character gains resist +1 and ward.
Pretty gnarly.
And I will quest with Chenabog's followers for 1 lore, because apparently being on the board is the cool thing to do. And we will pass our turn.
Let's go. Let's go on the board. All right, we'll draw. Drop the dice.
I do have to be careful drawing all these cards because Breezy does have a whole new world.
No. Keep drawing. It's fine. It's totally fine. We'll. I don't know what I like. I don't really like much here. But what we're gonna do here is we're gonna ink a Cogsworth, the 1-drop. And then we're gonna hard cast our bird this time because like mine isn't exerted. So like if anyone wants to remove it, I think we, just saying it out there, just speaking into the word, into the void, no big deal, and we'll pass.
All right. Now untap. Draw for turn. Make sure we do this. I have so many good cards, but like, don't know what I'm needing to use. So we're going to. Your Chernobog is a 1/2, right?
Yes. No, 2/1.
2/1. Yeah. Right. We're gonna play Develop Your Brain. All right, we're gonna go. You still got a ways before we have to discard our hand. You're only at
3.
You're at 3, right? So
We got a while.
at least 2.
I don't think I'll be hard casting either, so that'll be very fun and silly of me.
All right, so we're gonna use 3 to play.
Also, I might just use that as a bargaining chip. It's an important card.
Oh yeah, we're gonna play the Queen. So this is the Queen Diviner. She's a 3/3. I can tap her. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal an item card and put it in your hand. If it costs 3 or less, you may put it. You may play it for free instead. Enters exerted.
Oh, we're digging for.
Got some items going on here. We're gonna go ahead and use Scuttle. I don't love it, but I'm gonna use Scuttle to take out those Chernobog followers. And then we will quest for 1 with Diablo. I've inked. Got too many cards in hand, so I will pass the turn.
Does Scuttle take damage or?
Yes, he does.
All right, cool.
What's Scuttle? 1, 2, 3?
He's a 1/3.
1-3. Wow.
Oh, nice. I draw for turn. Oh man. I'm gonna ink a Scar. And I am going to play Bell. Whenever this character quests, you may pay 1 less for the next turn. No, for the next item you play this turn. And I am going to quest for 1. That way I'm on the board as well, and I'll pass my turn.
Let's go.
All right. We will ready, set, draw for turn.
I forgot I got these nifty zooms.
Oh. Heck yeah.
Zoom in where we need to.
Got all the magic tools, not using it, huh?
Put them all
Alright.
together and I just forget they're here.
Like there's one of the coolest things on Twitch, and you're just like, nah, don't use it.
I will ink Phil,
Philly.
and I will. I'll use 2 ink, and I will play 1 jump ahead. So I'll take the top card off of my deck into the inkwell, face down and exerted. And we will use our final 2 ink to do nothing with, I guess. I don't really want to. Yeah, I'll quest for 2 with no eye.
All right.
Does have resist +1, so that's pretty good. I'll go ahead and pass.
All right, I will ready draw. Side question. Whenever we bounce our heroes, what happens to our tax count?
All right. So if you bounce them, because your count goes up the moment you cast them, if you bounce them, you can decide to either go to your hand or go back to your
Okay, got it.
your
Noted.
storyboard. So,
Sweet. That makes sense.
so if it's in your hand though, you don't have to pay ink tax.
Gotcha. But so let's say Tinkerbell, right? Now I played it, and now it's at 7, and then I played a 7 cost, then I bounce it. Is it a 7 cost Tinkerbell?
No, it's back to its normal cost
Okay.
in your hand.
Sweet.
Um,
Sweet deal.
yeah. So another way to kind of get around that ink tax. But I guess technically, like if it's in your hand and then somebody made you discard, then you would
Right.
choose to either put it in discard or back to your storyboard.
Okay, makes sense. We're gonna ink a. You're welcome. We'll bring it.
I'm also going to put it because I'm sure somebody in chat's going to be mentioning I'm not drawing cards because I literally have 7 cards in hand and I know what I'm doing for the next couple turns.
Oh, you're choosing not to draw.
I'm choosing not to. Diablo is a May ability.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
I'm choosing not to.
All right. Well, if that's the case, I'm not gonna really touch that. That makes it a little bit easier to do what I want to do. We'll play 4/4. Zach Bivens signed. Go.
He is the GOAT. He is the GOAT when it comes
He is
to
the
Lore.
go. I gained the lore.
Yep.
And then we'll gain another lore with Diablo, and I think that'll be my turn.
Right. I'm going to untap and I will draw a card.
And I'll draw with you.
Taffeta's what, a 2/2? Sean on your side?
1/2.
1/2. Let's start this off. Let's tap our queen. Let's go digging. We're gonna look at the top 4. One item. Ain't gonna miss.
Ooh. If you were 2 for 2, though, that'd be too impressive.
I did just throw some cards away that I didn't want to throw away. But it's, we're gonna tap 3. We're gonna play the Great. Oh, no. Hang on. I don't think there's enough items to warrant GC to use it yet. We're gonna throw down the Great Stone Dragon.
Ooh, GSD. Let's go.
Gotta get that slow ramp.
Shout out Tomas, the Golden Mickey winner himself, for that one.
And then as far as inking, I'm gonna ink.
Okay.
I'm gonna ink the Winter Camp.
The what?
Winter Camp. So this is a set 4 location. It is 3 and inkable. Costs 1 to move to it. Has 8 defense. Right here. It gives you 1 lore each turn, but the big thing is whenever a character quests while here, remove up to 2 damage from them. As a
Ooh,
hero
okay.
character, remove 4 damage from them.
Wow. We're heal. Okay. I'm just learning so many new cards. This is
I know.
fantastic.
This is the reason for the format. The reason for the
I
format.
love it.
All right, so we've got. Oh, 6 cards. All right. Well, this Scuttle is not going to hit anything and actually trade well, so we're just going to go ahead and gain 2 lore. Put this up to 4, and I will pass the turn.
All right, I will untap. I'll draw for turn. Let's see here. I think I'm gonna ink Rhea. And I want to play Triton.
Ooh.
What does Triton do?
And
I know none of us
so-
have ever really seen Triton on a field.
he's a 3/3, and whenever you tap him, banish one of your items, gain 3 lore.
Oh, that's the card that just won like a case, win a case with like poison apple and planks. That's the card.
Was that like a draft deck or something?
No, it was a constructed win a case tournament, I believe, and it won. It played poison
Oh, wow.
apple. It played planks. It played cards that I've never seen in my life before, and it played like the bow, like the fang. It played silly cards. It played silly blue items. I don't want to. We played one of poison apple.
Oh wow!
Why?
And then I am going to quest for 3,
Right.
and then pass turn.
All right, ready, set, draw for turn.
Breezy, are you over there drawing cards?
Yes.
You don't have to. I'm just
Oh
curious.
yeah, we're drawing cards. We're drawing cards. We have so many cards in our hand.
All right, we'll use 4 ink to play James Role Model. When this character is banished, you can put it in your inkwell face down and exerted.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna ink Madam Min Fox and pass my turn.
All right.
All right. We will ready up
Not me. Breezy.
and then draw for turn. Ooh. Oh, this is fun. I mean, I can't not do that. Like that's just off-brand. That'll be silly of me. Like I can't physically that like people.
He's got to
will be
play
mad.
the Cusco.
Yeah,
Cusco
we're
has to
gonna
come down.
we're gonna ink a 2-drop Jafar, and then with the 5th ink, we're gonna we kind of have to do it. We kind of have to do it. We're gonna play the Cusco, the greatest card of all time, and then we'll just actually we're gonna trade with your Diablo.
All right. So, to point this out, just for the first interaction here, because it's the first time, with a storyboard character, when they are banished, you have a choice of either putting them into your discard pile or returning them back to your storyboard area where you can play it again. Now, my Diablo was shifted, so the bottom Diablo will go to my banish pile, my discard pile, and my Diablo is going to go back to my storyboard. Because I cast them the first time, I do have a counter up here letting me know. If I cast anything in my storyboard, it does cost 1 extra. Same thing will go for Breezy, but just want to point that out for anybody who's trying to follow along.
And then what else is on the board? Bell is what? I can't see. Taffy is 1-2, and then Bell is 2-3.
I don't know if that
Yeah,
helps.
Bell is a 2/3,
2-3, and then Taffy is a
1/2.
1-2. I mean, we'll just get rid of that bell. Take
Ooh.
2.
All right.
And that's it. That's the turn.
Right. Untap. And just 31 games are going pretty good. We just started just a little bit ago. Everybody's kind of getting used to the format. But so far, so good. All right, so let's spin the wheel again. Right? Can't miss that many times. Spin the wheel with the queen. Top 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, got a good one. We're gonna be playing the hidden Inkcaster.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a really good
the
one.
Inkcaster, I draw a card.
That's a really good one.
Now everything is inkable.
Wow. I thought about playing that card. I was like, maybe. I just didn't want to play. I didn't have blue. I was like, I need blue for items.
All right, so I think I want to play. All right, I'm going to ink my lucky dime.
Oh,
Because of
that's
my
a
hidden
weird sentence.
Inkcaster. It allows me to, potentially maybe get it back later with my Mufasa. Synergies. We're going to play a Montanui. So Montanui is 5 defense, costs 1 to move there, gives me 1 lore each turn. Whenever a character is banished here, you may put that card in your inkwell face down exerted. Ramp.
Ramp indeed. I like how that card makes every card Grandma Tava.
Exactly, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to move both of these over to Montanui. Going to use our Greatstone Dragon to bring this Diablo into our pool exerted. The Taffeta. All right, and sorry, the tapped card Breezy on your side.
Go 4/3.
4/3. We'll just go ahead and take the goat out. We'll trade with the Scuttle.
I gained the lore.
Yep, the Scuttle will. How many buttons? Scuttle will go into my ink inserted, and I think that's it for me. We're gonna pass the turn.
All right. Now untap. Draw for turn. Let's see here. What is the Noi or GC?
Yeah,
What's this
so
cost?
it's a 1/2. It's got 2 cost, 2 lore, resist 1, and it has ward.
All right.
Because he has his popsicle out.
Yep.
I'm gonna ink Rapunzel, and then I'm gonna play Brawl and get rid of it.
All right, what's Brawl?
Banish chosen character that costs 2 or less.
It has ward.
Word.
Ward. WARD.
Wait,
So you
Does it
can't
not
target
work
it,
on it?
right?
Sorry. Brawl says target creature, correct?
Yeah.
So you can't
Banish
target.
chosen character.
Ward
Yeah.
can't be chosen.
So you can't choose it because he can't be selected.
Oh,
Yeah. Except to challenge. You can only choose this for a challenge.
Yeah.
And that's
Never
because
mind.
Popsicle's on board. He loses both the resist and the ward if you get rid of Popsicle.
Gotcha.
Item removal. Yikes.
What is Cusco?
Ward 2/4.
Got ward 2.
Jeez Louise.
What's the queen?
All right.
We can brawl.
3/3.
Oh, it's a 3.
Yeah.
That's
Stay
a
outside
Is it
that brawl.
3/3? I'm gonna play Then Along Came Zeus on that queen.
Hey, guess what? Going to my ink pile.
Ooh.
That's just ramping me. I have officially
And-
8 ink now.
Ooh, Jesus.
Oh man. And
He
then
opened-
I'll
he
quest for
opened his
one,
ramp.
and then pass turn.
All right, the question coming in as far as your storyboard and your song. So your storyboard song, in order to select your song, it has to be able to be sung by your hero in your deck, but you can cast it or sing it when you're actually playing the game. If you do either of those, though, it is its cost plus whatever the tax is. So again, as soon as you play your first storyboard card, now your song is going to cost 1 extra. You can still sing it as long as you have a character that can sing that cost plus the tax cost.
What's the shield on that location? What's the health? 5?
5.
And it gains 1 lore each turn.
Yeah, just 1 lore. That's all.
That's a lot.
That's a good bit.
That's a 30 turn clock right there. That's scary.
Technically, I just need 26 turns, but
Yeah. Just a 26 clock. Be careful.
All right, we will use James' role model
Mhm.
to sing, and then along came Zeus
Yep.
and target the location
Nice.
for 5
See,
damage
yes.
to location,
everybody's coming after me right now.
You have 8
which
ink.
gives me a tax on my storyboard. We will use 4 ink to play McDuck Manor. It's just a 1/9 that gains 2 lore.
Oh, it's just a 1/9. Just a 1/9. 2 lore.
1/9 is crazy.
And yeah, I'll quest with Noe, get the 2 lore there,
All
and
right.
then pass my turn.
Okay. I will. Ready. Draw. Wow, that card is not. I'm gonna see this late, but this early. But okay. I really don't like that manner, y'all. I really don't.
I don't either. That's
I-
going to gain so much lore over time.
Yeah, but I want to quest, but like there's things I want to do instead of I want to take care of it. I want to take care of it. I have to. So our beautiful Cusco, I don't know if you remember the movie, but remember that time he sang and then along came Zeus.
I mean,
I-
I absolutely remember it.
It was one of the best scenes ever. And then we're gonna do 5 into the manor. And then we're gonna go 3 for a fox, and then smack that manor out of the game.
Damn. Nobody
Sam.
likes Scrooge's manner anyway. It's just
It's just
obnoxious.
No.
I've lost too many games to that card, and I'm not gonna let that thing sit. And then we'll get our boy into our hand, and then with the 1, I'm gonna play that Diablo, and then peep at some hands. What y'all been drawing?
All right. So
Oh.
again, typically, just throwing it out there, if we were in person, Breezy could go around and look at each hand separately. Technically, we could look away from the screen, but I mean,
I
we
think
can
public,
show it.
making it public
We
is
can
fine.
show it as fine. So, all right, so I'll start.
Ooh.
I've got a Pascal. Let's me look
Uh-huh.
at the top 3, put them back in any order, which would have been amazing with that queen next turn. Signed contract. Again, every time you cast a song, I can draw a card. Grandma Tala. Every time I ink something, I gain 1 lore. Be prepared, when I don't like the board. Another Grandma Tala. When she comes in, I can look at the top 2 cards, 1 in hand, 1 underneath, and Ariel. Lots of
Okay.
lore if I have the most items.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. All right. Cool. Good stuff.
All right, I'm just running. I find them, I flatten them, banish everybody's items, all items everywhere.
You mean?
Cogsworth has ward and grants resist to my other
Everyone else?
characters.
Mm-hmm.
And then Elsa, Ice Palace. When I play it, I can choose a character that's exerted. Not Meg. I choose a character, choose an exerting character, and while this is in play, they can't flip back up.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. And then
And then I got Brawl, Sisu, and Dig a Little Deeper.
ooh, dig a little deeper. Shout out DKP. Okay. Interesting spot. We'll ink our Jafar here. And then just to get ink at that point. And then honestly, we'll this card came in a little too late. I mean too early. We're gonna get rid of this is discard an action, right? I'm not crazy. Yeah, we're gonna discard a second star to the knight to shift into our Diablo. And we'll pass.
All right. Untap. Roll. All right, so let's keep it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. To play our Grandma Tallow. This is the one that every time I ink something, I gain a lore. We will. For now, we're still going to protect this. We're going to ink our Ariel, gain a lore. You see, you're stressing me over there with all that item destruction.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I have no problems with that card. That card is fantastic.
So the problem is I know 2 cards in the hands, and that's what I don't like either. All right, and I'm just gonna pass the turn because I have nothing to eat with my stone dragon.
All right, so I will untap, draw for turn. I'm gonna ink the Brawl, and I'm gonna play Dragon's Fire on your Grandma. Oh yeah,
Beautiful.
That's rude.
and then I will quest for 1, and then pass turn.
All right. Ready, set. Draw for turn. I will banish my popsicle so that I can draw. That's how that works, right?
No, that's not how that works.
Oh,
When you
I
banish
have
your
to-
popsicle, you can remove 2 damage off something.
Oh,
Yeah,
I knew that.
Hiram is-
Okay.
Hiram is the
Yeah.
card that usually lets you
Think
draw
about
with it.
Flavor Sham.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just the muscle memory at that point for Sapphire players. So it's like,
Man, I really want more ink, but I don't want to lose my cards.
hey, I have that fancy schmancy card. Remember that card that I showed that it's potentially banned as a song? Remember that one? I got that.
Yeah.
I do have that.
Man,
It's almost time to sing.
I don't know. I'm holding on to it like it's gold.
I'm gonna hit 5 here to play Cogsworth. He's got Unwind, so my other characters have Resist 1.
You got Ward, which is just one.
Okay. What's Diablo's stat lines?
He's got
Diablo's-
2/2, but he's got evasive.
He's evasive, yeah.
2/2 with evasive.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I should have played differently. All right, doesn't matter. We will quest with James for 2 lore. Quest with No Eye for 2 lore. And we will ink the library
Ooh.
and pass
Ooh.
turn.
Ooh, library is wow. All right. Well, ready. Draw.
Prashaun, are you going to be prepared?
Possibly.
Mm, Well, that changes things. Wait.
I'm trying to
Um,
determine
I'm
what I
almost
do.
there. I'm at 6.
well. I mean, I want to push that just because I don't like the boards, and I can like if I get rid of the cards, I'm okay with that. We'll quest with Diablo. We'll quest with the Mim. Get to 6, I believe. We're at 6 ink. How do you want to do this? Yeah. It's grody. We'll ink a magic broom, and then for 6, we'll play a beast relentless. Yeah, and then I will pass my turn.
All right, I'm gonna draw. All right, Prashaun, are you be preparing?
If I have anything to ink next turn, yes, because GC's board is scary with those characters that get 2 lore each.
Man, don't worry about them.
All right, so let me 4. Baby Grandma Tallow. We're gonna look at the top 2, one in my hand, one at the bottom. This one in hand, this one on bottom.
And that doesn't count as a draw, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Going to play Pascal. So look at the top 3 and put them back in any order.
Ooh.
Turns.
The cats decided to chew on some plastic bag. That was fun.
That way. I'm going to play Cerulean Gyro Sensor. Oh, Gyro Sensor says whenever one of your characters quest, you may look at the top card of your deck, put it on either top or bottom of your deck.
Wow. I'm learning so much.
I'm going to ink a Winnie the Pooh. Use the Greatstone Dragon to put my Tala to my ink. Exerted. I'm down to 3 cards. And I will pass the turn.
All right, I will untap. I will draw for turn.
Diablo draw.
I guess as long as you have Diablo, it's less likely you're going to wheel our hands.
Yeah, it's just sitting in my hand at this point. I'm just worried that Diablo might get taken care of at one point, so.
I think I'm gonna ink Arthur.
All right, he got his ink.
Are we going bye-bye?
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna. Well, hang on. I'll quest for
Got a
2,
quest. Got a quest.
8.
and then I will be prepared.
Bang. Pow.
All right, that counts as a banishment, right? So James goes to my inkwell.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay,
Yeah,
so all of my cards are in here, and then Diablo is at 2.
Yeah, and keep in mind that that counter is for all 3 cards. So if you want to cast any of your 3 cards, they all cost the +2.
Oh, okay. Got it. I'm just gonna have it here too. That makes
And
sense.
just to point that out, because I actually had that question asked earlier, why do they not have their own counters? It was just really confusing. I have to keep up with 3 different counters the whole time. So we kind of decided to use cumulative, which also kind of makes you have to think when you want to play your song or your legendary or whatever, because it's, you know, you're playing your ally, but it's making your hero slower to come down.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, I passed turn. It's your turn, Jeezy.
All right. Whew. Very empty board here. I am at 8 ink. Let me draw for turn.
You're at 9 ink. Oh,
Am I at 9
8
ink?
ink? You're at 9
Two,
lore.
three,
Sorry,
four, five, six. Yeah.
I'm not keeping up with ink.
All right. Well, it only seems appropriate, I guess,
Oh,
to just go ahead and I find them, I
I mean,
flatten them.
you don't have to.
yes!
that-
Flatten!
Go.
Let's go.
We just
So
starting
just-
over. Clean board, guys.
Clean slate.
board.
Wow, there's nothing on the board.
And then we'll do 3 ink for Elsa's Ice Palace,
Ooh.
but there's no character to choose, so I won't. And that will end my turn. I will pass it over.
All right, we'll ready and draw. How many cards do people have in their hands? Curious.
I have
One.
2.
At 3.
1, 2, 3. Okay, so okay. Wow.
I mean, do you
I
have
will-
Breezy?
BRB. Very
I
quickly.
have 6. But we're gonna make that a little bit less. We're gonna ink the Clarabelle, which is why I asked.
Mhm.
And then we'll get to 8 ink. Ooh, I don't know. We can do like, I guess what I'm gonna do here is 1 Pascal, 5 Robin Hood, and then pass. Really?
Right. Okay. Untap. Draw. See, I baited GC into using that so that I could now get signed contract out. Every time you guys play a song, I can draw a card.
Okay.
And then I'm going to play
Good card.
Donald Duck, Daisy's Date. So whenever a character challenges, or whenever this character challenges another character, each opponent loses 1 lore.
Oh, that's Daisy's date. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
Donald, Daisy's Date. And then I'm gonna pay 4, I think, to bring my Diablo out. So my count will go up to 2 now. My ink tax, and I will pass the turn.
All right. I will untap. And
Yeah,
I
so-
will draw for turn.
And so this is like a great example, right? Like Prashaun just used Be Prepared. Now if he were to ink, he'd be up to 8 and he could be prepared again, but you can see like he isn't building his board whatsoever by doing that.
Right.
Which is why we've kind of found it not to be that big of a deal, because it's at least 4 or 5 turns before you use it again.
Yeah, wheel sounds crazy because then you can just like wheel,
Mm-hmm.
end turn, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. Yeah, I gotcha.
If
And then
the cards
I will
went to the bottom of
play-
your library or shuffle back in your library or your deck,
Right.
it would probably be fine, but the fact you have to discard them is the issue.
I feel like you can really make a nasty like mill deck for that.
Mhm.
Just purely.
All right. So Sisu came in. Sisu says a 1 power, right?
What was that?
Sisu's a 1 power card, right?
Yeah, she's a 1/1.
Yep.
And
Tell me her
then,
ability.
evasive. And then when you play this character, banish
Hey.
chosen opponent, opposing character that costs 1 or less.
Cost? I think it was the strength. No.
It's strength.
Oh, strength. Sorry, strength.
There's only 1 valid target.
Okay. Just cool.
And then that's it. Your turn, GC.
You may be muted. See if you're talking.
I am muted. My apologies.
You're good.
Up 1 for Elsa's Ice Palace.
All right.
And then I drew 1 for turn.
I'm just on the 10.
Wow.
I
Wow.
will use 1 ink to play Develop Your Brain.
Wait. Is that a song?
Nope, it's an action.
Oh man.
We just won't play songs.
So that's 2 cards on the top of my deck. 1 goes in my hand, the other on the bottom of my deck.
Nice.
And on the bottom.
One of my favorite cards from set 1.
All right.
I remember like when Lorcana first came out in the first set, there was a lot of those cards that came out and people are like, these are such bad cards.
I love Develop.
But they're good. Like the thing is, like when it comes to blue, if you come from Magic, you understand how good a popsicle is. You understand how good Develop Your Brain is. 1 jump ahead. Like it doesn't sound good on paper if you're not used to TCGs, but then you see the value in it. You're like, okay.
Right.
All right, then we will 1, 2, 3, 4 ink for Merlin the Goat.
Ooh,
And I'll pop me up another lure.
11.
And we'll use our last 3 lure to play our last card in hand, the Caterpillar. Calm and collected. We will go ahead and pass our turn.
All right. Well, I will
Got a card.
ready draw. 8. How can we do this in a fun way? Well, don't really like it. But I mean, we'll okay. I mean, if it'll get removed, maybe, but if it does, it'll be all right. What's the math here? Math. We'll do. Yeah, we'll do 5 for Cusco. Sing cost. Can I sing? I mean, it's a 5, but is it technically a 3 cost song with my friends, or do I have to does it have to 5?
Still 5. So
Okay, still 5.
you need to sing with your Robin Hood.
Okay, but do I want to make you draw a card? These are the questions. I'm not. Shoot.
I have 2 cards in hand. If that
2
helps.
cards are gonna. Yeah, no, you can draw a card. You know what? You invited me on the show. I'll be nice. We'll sing Friends on the Other Side.
All right.
And then that means my ink, my thing goes to 3, and then I draw 2. You draw 1, 1, 2, and then I guess with the that's quite nice. With the draws, that kind of helped me. We'll ink a Ursula here. And then for 4, we'll play a Bruni. And I will pass the turn.
All right. Bruni draws you a card when he gets banished.
Yeah, it's a 2/2/2 evasive. And yeah, whenever he's banished, I draw a card.
Oh, for
These new sleeves are slick.
oh, bunch of. All right, so we're going to. Let's see what this does first. All right, we're gonna play Lady Tremaine.
Ooh.
Lady Tremaine. When she comes in, when you play this character, each opponent chooses and banishes one of their characters.
Oh, each opponent picks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Each opponent.
Well, I'll just draw a card.
I figured.
Ooh.
All right, GC. who's biting
I'll
the bullet?
I'll take my lore from Merlin.
All right.
Nice.
All right, and then feels. What's the stat line on your caterpillar over there?
He's 1/3, 3 lore, 3 cost.
3 lore is crazy.
All right, I'm
He's
just
very
gonna,
calm and collected.
I'm just gonna quest with my Donald. We're gonna quest with the Diablo. We'll have 6. We'll tap 3 of that. Play a Sisu.
Ooh. Oh, Sisu's huge, huh?
Yeah, so Sisu, this is the cool thing about this. This character gets +1 attack for each card in opponents, so all opponents' hands.
It's like gazillion. Wow.
Luckily, like GC has none. But
Oh,
you've
I
got
have
what?
2.
You've got
I got 4.
4 and 2, so it's only a 7-4. But
No big deal. Yeah, just a 3-drop 7/4. 2 lord. No big deal.
all right, and that will finish up my turn.
All right.
I'm gonna draw a card when Prashaun draws a card.
Let's see here.
Diablo, huh?
I'm gonna ink Mulan. And I'm gonna play dig a little deeper.
I just dig
So
a little
I'm
deeper.
gonna-
Read.
Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Put 2 in your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order.
All right, so I will trigger my signed contract. Draw a card.
Nice.
Because you got to solve that. I wanted to see how it read about. Didn't matter.
All right, I have my 2. And these cards I'll never see. And some good stuff too. And I will pass turn.
Alrighty. We will. Ready? We will gain 1 lore for Elsa's Ice Palace. I will go ahead and draw for turn.
What's the defense on your Ice Palace?
A 4.
Probably should have killed it last turn.
Or
I'll draw. For you.
Interesting. What am I sitting at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ink.
Diablo's really.
I will. I'll
Now
I'll
you're making
pay
me second
all-
guess. This needs to be 20 instead of 30 lore.
I'll pay all 8 to include my tax to bring out Grammatala from the storyboard.
Sure.
Increase my tax by 1. Quest with Caterpillar for 3. And pass my
Yeah.
turn.
All right. Elder ready. Set draw. Okay, that's a card of all time. We're at 9. I don't like doing this at all, but I kind of want to.
Don't do it.
Well, We'll play Tinky Winky
All right.
for gazillion, just the most expensive. And then I'll quest with Cusco, greatest card of all time. And then we'll ink
Cusco's 2 or 3.
3. So I'll get to 9.
Does Tinkerbell hit locations?
Nope.
No,
Just
okay.
characters.
So yeah. And then what are the stats on the Caterpillar? Is a 1/3,
3 lore,
and then
3 cost.
right. And then the Donald, what's that stat line?
A 2/4, and he has 1 damage on him.
2/4. So I'll take. We'll get rid of the Caterpillar, and then I gain 2 lore from it.
He was so calm and collected.
He is gaining you 3 lore. I'm okay. And then I guess we do. Yeah, it's gonna hurt my feelings. I wanted to play this card just because I packed it and I was like super cool, but I don't want to play it, especially with Diablo on board. We'll ink a Finders Keepers.
Drawing cards.
Ooh, shiny.
Yeah, I wanted to play it because I packed it and it was really pretty, but you have a Diablo on board, so I can't. So we'll ink that and then I'll pass. Turn.
Untap. Draw. All right, I'm gonna play another card that I don't like playing, but I'm still gonna play it. For 3, I'm going to play Prince John's Mirror. Another card that is on the watch list. So if you guys don't know, it's a brand new card. Costs less if I have a Prince John, but at the end of each opponent's turn, if they have more than 3 cards in hand, they discard until they have 3 cards in hand.
Jeez.
Max hand size is 3 now.
Wow. Okay, so it's gonna make me glue this card into my hand. I don't want to draw 7. Thanks.
All right, we're going to tap 4. We're going to play the Vault Door. So Vault Door is a 4 cost item. Your locations and characters at locations get resist 1.
Okay. Pretty good. Note to self: bring flatten into this format.
I think it's a must-have if you're in Steel. All right, so Sean has nothing.
Wow.
On board.
It's fighting words.
Got a
Yeah. That was aggressive.
Yeah, I was like, well,
I'm going around the board. We've got a Tala to deal with. You've got a Cusco that's a 4/4.
2/4.
2/4.
2/4 ward.
All right. You got a Robin Hood.
3/6.
Robin Hood has 1 damage on him, right? So you still
Yeah,
gotta
the
do
3/6.
5 to him.
Yeah.
And then that's a Tinkerbell that's not tapped.
Yeah.
Okay. What am I more scared of? I think I'm more scared of the Tala. All right, so let's 11.
Yeah.
All right, I think I have to. You have to take out the Cusco. I just want to make sure I do it right.
Goodbye, my friend.
Honestly, I don't know if I can do that without having to take 2 attacks. All right, we're gonna do this differently. Breezy, you're at 11, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna take out something. Okay. Cusco, I'm gonna send. Or how many cards is in everybody's hand? I'm imagining I can kill your Cusco.
Yes.
I have 3.
Yeah.
4.
All right, so
Trade.
Cusco. This will do 2, so Sisu still has 1.
Well, whenever I get banished, you
yeah.
banish.
You get to choose a card,
Okay,
banish
yeah.
that card. Yeah,
Whoever attacks it, that's the.
he's good. All right, we're gonna quest for 4.
Ooh.
Got to get in the double digits.
Let's go.
And then, hey, GC, I know you
Yeah.
just got your Tala.
Yeah, you can
But-
leave it alone.
I'm gonna let you draw some cards. How about that?
Okay.
I'm gonna you're welcome.
Ooh.
You can either choose to shuffle her into your deck or put her in your storyboard, and then you get to draw 2 cards.
Well, at least she doesn't have damage on her anymore.
And you know what? I get to draw.
Ooh. Oh yeah, you're what a play. What a play. What a play.
Wait,
Bravo.
Because
Oh,
you're
wow.
drawing.
Why
two,
do
my
you-
Diablo draws?
is Diablo during your turn or not?
Oh, is
your
it
turn?
during opponent's turns? Right. I forget about his
Damn,
decks.
reading. Dang it. I thought it
Yes,
just said
during
draw
opponent,
card.
each opponent's turn. You're right. You're right.
Cool, cool.
Ooh.
Fine. You still can't get sneaky lore. So. And then that's my turn.
All
We'll
right.
draw on Prashaun's turn though.
I'm gonna untap, draw for turn.
You're welcome is bottom, right?
You're welcome. No, I think it shuffles back in.
Shuffle.
Shuffle
Oh,
chosen
shuffles.
character or item or location in the player's deck.
Yeah. Just-
Oh yeah, yeah. So do I need to shuffle my deck since I went to storyboard? Probably not, right?
No, you don't have to.
I'm going to play McDuck Manor
Boom.
and pass turn.
Apparently, playing McDuck Manor is fighting words. Just to let you know.
They are.
Hey, wait.
If he-
I just
How
got
many,
off
how
my
many
chair.
cards? How many cards do you have in hand, Prashaun?
3.
Okay, you're good then. Got check.
All right. My token here says I need to do something, and that is collect lore from Elsa's Ice Palace.
I'll allow it.
I will draw 1 for turn.
All right, so we have another question. Just want to answer this question because I've seen it a couple different times through the comments. What if your hero and your ally are the same ink color? Do you still get to choose a third ink color in your format? The characters, ally, and songs all have to be different. So the thing is, they do not have to be different, but whatever colors your 3 cards are, your song, your ally, and your hero, those are the colors your deck is allowed to use. So if you choose all 3 cards to be the same color, then your entire deck will only be that one color. But they're all different colors, then you get to use up to 3 colors in your deck. So it's kind of dependent upon how you want to build your storyboard. Is how you'll do your deck, but you can choose the same color for 2 cards.
All right, so we use 7 ink to play Cinderella Stout-Hearted. She has resist 2.
Hey,
Whenever you play a song, this character may challenge a ready character this turn. And you got what? Signed contract, the vault door, which increases resistance to characters and locations.
characters
and,
on a location and
Okay.
locations.
and then
And
the
then Prince
mirror.
John's mirror, yeah.
What does that do? What's
Prince John's mirror, if you have more than 3 cards at the end of turn, you got to discard down to 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no worries. The idea here is we're gonna try to be doing this potentially weekly, with different people hanging out, chilling out with us. You guys can see this in action, and we're gonna be tweaking the format as we go. So we'll see how long the games run. If we need to 20 lore, 25 lore, we'll figure it out.
All right, so we're gonna ink a Scrooge McDuck and pass turn.
All right. Well, okay, there's this correct sequence of this that I can do.
Let's draw when 3 draws.
All right, we'll draw together. Bang. Ooh, fun. That's a really fun card to do. Okay, this is interesting. So we got 10. This is ready, of course. Duck Manor's 9. Boo. Okay, so what I want to do here, we can, because the problem with Cinderella is that it's the resist 2, so my Tinker won't be. But okay, here's what the plan is. We're gonna do a fun play. We're gonna we're gonna tap 3 for a shift Robin Hood. Yeah, so this guy has a +1 lore for each damage character, opposing character. So he's a 1, 2, 3, 4 lore. So we'll quest for 4. Get to 15, and now we'll smack Tinkerbell into what's the Lady Tremaine is a 3/4, right?
Yep. She's 3/4 with 1 damage.
Okay, so we'll do 3/4 to get rid of that, and then pop the Diablo.
Yep.
I take 3 damage here, and then now we can do another fun play that I thought about having while building this deck. Is we're gonna do 5 for a bell, and then we're gonna move this 3 damage into that Cinderella.
Okay.
So you take 3 damage because it's not a resist effect.
Gets around the resist.
Yeah. So, and then we will. Wow, that was a really fun play. I guess I could have. Nah, it's fine. And then we'll I guess how to do this. We'll ink a library and play a Prince John, especially with that mirror is active.
Oh, yeah.
And then I will pass, and I have 1 card in hand, and you know which card that is. So
All
I could do a very fun thing too now next turn. That's crazy.
right. You could draw so many cards.
And then make everyone discard all of them and draw so many more.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna untap, draw for turn. Yeah, so I see your question there. And again, any questions you have, feel free to ask them in the chat, whether you're on the YouTube side or the Twitch side. I'm trying to track both and see both. But the question being about your storyboard characters. Yeah, your storyboard characters are always available to play, so they're kind of like an extension to your hand. So you can see on the board, some people's are shown. Mine's kind of underneath my picture. But yeah, you can cast them on your turn at any time as long as you can pay for their cast cost plus whatever ink tax you're sitting at. And every time you cast one of your storyboard cards, that ink tax will go up 1. All right.
Yeah.
See what you got. Ward. What is Bell's stats?
Bell is 4/4/2.
This is a dead card. I'm gonna ink this brawl. Like it's too soon to do this, but it needs to be. All right, so with Donald, what do you have tapped? A Robin Hood?
Robin Hood and Tinkerbell.
I don't think it matters. Because I'm wiping the board, but
Oh.
I'm gonna swing Donald into Tinkerbell. But the reason why I'm doing that is when he challenges another character, each opponent loses a lore.
How much damage do I take?
2.
2.
So everybody lost 1. My Donald dies, or gets banished. Sorry, Disney. 7. We're going to be prepared.
Yeah, that's really killer. All right.
I mean, you took out my board. I'm taking out everybody else's board.
Be prepared as.
Then
Oh.
You just want to keep random. Heart of Tafiti. So, Heart of Tafiti, I can tap 2, tap this, and then put the top card of my deck into my inkwell face down and exert. So I will use my last 2 ink to do that. And I will pass the turn with 4 cards in hand.
All right, and I gain 2 lore from McDuck Manor. And I will draw for turn. I will play Pascal. I get to look at the top 3 cards of my deck and put them back in any order. Do that. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I will pass turn.
All right. So, Wonder Twin, question there. How long does an average game go? In between like an hour to 2 hours is kind of where we've hit on a lot of our testing. Of course, that's going to just be dependent upon like who's playing what cards and how often they're interacting with the board.
All right, I'll grab a lure for Elsa's Ice Palace.
Mm-hmm.
Draw for turn. Now, if I understand this correctly, you have an item on the board, which means at the end of our turn, we have to discard down to 3.
Right.
And my good friend Breezy here has a card in hand that will give me more cards in hand.
Yes.
But he doesn't want to play that because
that card.
they don't want to discard a whole bunch, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna make room for Breezy here. It's gonna hurt a little bit, but we will play Glean, and we will banish that mirror, and you can gain 2 lore.
Ooh. I mean,
Wait, is Glean a song?
Glean is an action.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
is Glean your own or is Glean any?
Banish chosen item.
Any item.
Okay. Gotcha.
Any item. That's nice. Okay, so yeah, we're for that we're gonna wheel. Just letting you
3. That is 6
Oh, you
For
got more
Ariel?
plays.
to come down.
Ooh.
And I only have 2 left. So instead of even attempting to try to play a song, I will just ink Friends on the Other Side into my hand. We will pass turn with an empty hand.
All right. Well, we will separate that 5 ink for later. Wink, wink, and then we'll draw. Oh, Ariel is 3, 4. Pascal is what? 2.
3, 3.
3, 3. Okay. Okay. So yeah, we're just gonna ink a Baboom here. It's just not gonna do anything this late. And then with 5, let's draw 7, everybody. Let's continue the game.
Right.
Woo!
Discard 4, draw 7. Hey, wait. I'm gonna draw 8.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now that I have 7 ink, then I can actually do things.
So I guess just as a new guy here, is that a choice that you make, or is that signed contract resolves after?
It's whenever so
you can discard after he forces the discard, or you draw after the forced discard and draw, not before.
I draw after because Lorcana's, and this is just a good question in general, Lorcana's slightly different than Magic. In Magic, when the stack happens, his card would play and my action would go on the stack in front of it. But in Lorcana, whenever any of my stuff triggers, it goes to the bag, which means Breezy has to finish his action and then goes into the bag to figure out what happens after it. So because of that, his whole card resolves, and then he goes to the bag and where my trigger is and says, okay, now you can draw a card.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great question. It comes up a lot.
Okay. So now we have given everyone cards, so like I'm the best person ever. We're gonna just dump this hand out. We'll do 1, 3 for the prince, and then another 3 into Rise of the Titans, that manner, because I will not lose to him. I just refuse. And that will be the end of my turn. I got 4 in hands.
Okay. Untap. Call. See how much ink we have to work with.
Dang, I had such a cool board. I had Belle, I had Tinkerbell, I had Robin Hood. It's all gone.
That aerial is what scares me. All right, so we're gonna start this off with 3 to play Tiberius Rourke. When this comes in, I can give something reckless. So we're gonna give that aerial reckless.
Ooh, good play, good play.
During your next turn, she'll have reckless, then it'll go away. Whenever one or more of your other characters are banished, each opponent loses 1 lore. I will also play. I just have to do this in the right order. All right, then we're going to play 3-drop Ursula. We're gonna play the Queen. This is Mirror Seeker, so whenever this character quests, you may look at the top 3 cards of your deck and put them back in any order. And then 3, we're gonna play Clarabelle, the 3-drop. So whenever you play this character, if an opponent has more cards in their hand than you can draw a card.
Ooh.
Sean, you should still have 7, correct?
Yep, I have 7.
All right, so I'm gonna draw a card.
Saucy.
I'm going to ink. I don't like this move, but I kind of have to. I'm going to ink Ursula's Garden and use that final ink to play a Curse Merfolk.
Wow, that's a wide board.
I have 4 cards left in hand, and that is my turn.
All right, I will untap. I will draw. I am going to ink Vital Sphere. I'm going to play Vision of the Future. I look at the top 5 cards of my deck. I put 1 into my hand and the rest in the bottom of my deck in any order.
While you're doing that, there's a question out there just about that. Yeah, so the way it works with your ink tax, you just confirm everything. As far as shift goes, shift is the cost. It's the number on the card in the body. That's not going to change. So if you had something like, I mean, as an example, right? And I think this is actually a perfect example, which I didn't think about earlier. But let's say Diablo's shift cost is just discard a card, shift it. There is no ink tax whatsoever that does anything for that. So because of that, we're taking the same approach with something like a Robin Hood. So maybe the steel Robin Hood's your legendary. Shift 5, pay 5, you can shift them onto another Robin Hood. The cost of it is the fact you have to have another Robin Hood on the field, which is already hard, the 100 card deck, and making sure he stays on the board, right? So the difference though is when it comes to songs, The ink tax goes into the song cost, meaning if you're wanting to sing it, it is also part of that cost. So if it's a, friends on the other side, you've already cast 2 of your storyboard cards, it's 5. And if you want to sing it, it's going to be, you're going to need a 5 singer in order to sing it. We discussed and we experimented to see what it felt like of like paying 2 ink and then singing it. And you just got around it too much where it just felt like it was too broken. So realistically, it just makes more sense to say the ink tax adds to the cost or that number up in the top of your card, whether it's your song or your character that you're playing, but it doesn't affect anything in like the body of the spell.
All right, so I tap 6. I play Gaston. Look at the top 3. Ooh, and then I keep 1, and then the rest go at the bottom.
I think that Gaston's also a good sleeper in this this format. A lot of
And
lore
then-
and dig deep.
I will pass my turn.
Wow, that board is looking mighty.
All right,
8, 3 items.
we're ready up. I will get a lure from Elsa's Ice Palace.
Took you to 18.
We will draw for turn. What are you, a 6? All right, cool. Run me through your stat lines, Dan.
2-4, 2-3, 2-5, 2-3, 0-1.
And who's your 2/5?
2-5 is the queen. So every time she quests, I get to look at the top 3 and put them back in any order.
Yeah, it's a little painful, ain't it? Okay, well,
Zeus and people.
Ooh,
yeah, I think so. We'll use the aerial. She is reckless, so she can't quest, but there's nothing to challenge, so we'll use the aerial to sing. And along came Zeus with my tax, so we'll increase my tax. Yeah, I think I want to blast away that guy.
All right,
Thank
queen
you.
Queen is down.
And then
2, 5.
again, one more time the stat. It's 2-4, 2-3, 2-3, and
0-1.
0-1. Should I be scared of the 0-1?
It's a 2 or, and then if I
Yeah, he's 2 lore, and if you
Yeah.
attack into him and banish him, then you discard a card.
He's
Actually,
sneaky.
everybody discards a card.
it's a sneaky card.
Yeah, whenever he's challenged each opponent.
But I will say this: I am about to Tinkerbell, so it will go bye.
That's true.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm about to
that's
Tinkerbell.
huge news.
Yeah, I will Tinkerbell that out of the game because that board is too wide, and I need some things out.
That's huge news.
Yeah,
Okay.
I will give you that.
Tinkerbell's coming down.
Tinky Winky is on the board.
What's your stat lines there, Prashaun?
3-3 and 4-4.
4-4. Okay, so we will spend our 10 and sing the mob song.
Whoa!
So that's going to be 3 damage to the 4 health of Prashaun, 3 damage to the 4 health of default Dan, and then what do you got over there, Breezy?
I have the Prince and the
Wait,
Pegasus.
Mob Song's 3.
Yeah, 3 damage.
Okay.
To 3 chosen characters.
Yeah,
Prince-
So,
So 3 damage to your 4 health, both
okay.
of you.
Oh, I got you for Tinkerbell. I got you.
Yep. Yep.
Uh,
Okay, and then
Prince 1-3 with resist 1,
Okay.
and then Pegasus 1-1 evasive.
okay, yeah, we'll equal opportunity employer and take care of the Pegasus with evasive,
Wah.
and that will pass my turn.
Alright, well, I have everything readied up, and I will draw a beautiful... Oh my god! Okay. That's a fun card, too. But we won't play that just yet. Well, I already said it. We're gonna do. Oh Jesus, that is so expensive.
Hey,
we'll do
Mob Song's a song, right?
Yeah, so signed contract allows you to draw.
6. Wow, that's a lot of income.
The mob song is a song. Yes, it is.
Mob Song is indeed a song. Yeah, for 10, Jesus. We'll Tinkerbell the rest of the board away.
All right, so here's a trigger here. Tiberius Rourke is gonna die, and the Merfolk is gonna die, and Tiberius Rourke is everybody's gonna lose 2.
Wow. Okay. that's
2
fine.
more.
And then for 3, well, yeah, for the extra 2, I will ink a bosses on a roll here, and then we will stop actions. We'll play Pete.
Pete.
No
Pete!
action.
No more B preps. No more removal for a bit. And then I guess I can just get my 2 lore back and pass.
Untap. All right, so we're going to
Oh, I forgot to play the wrong Cusco. It's okay.
we're gonna play Breezy's favorite card, Mr. Cusco, the green one.
Best choice. Best choice. Absolutely the best. Bravo.
And then we're going to ink play this. It's not gonna stick. Problem. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. We're gonna ink. 'Cause you can't be prep, so
Yeah,
let's
no
ink
act.
this Robin Hood. And we're going to tap 10,
Whoa.
bring out our spicy boy Mufasa.
Oh boy.
All right, I'm gonna shuffle up my ink.
I will take care of that. Mufasa. Don't you worry.
Getting some ink back.
That's fine. Get some cards in your hand. That lucky die might go crazy here.
No. All right. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, it's 15, so I'm just gonna roll d20. 13. $13 goes to hand. 6.
Nice.
Yeah. And these two just came in. What do you got tapped down over there, Breezy?
Just the prince. 1/3 resist 1.
And that aerial is
3/4 with 1 damage.
3, 4. All right, we're gonna go ahead and I don't like this at all, but Breezy's got Tinkerbell. my stuff's gonna die anyway. So I'm gonna send both of these into aerial.
Ooh. All right.
That was enough to banish, right?
Yep, they do
Alright.
4, but they both die. And I will pass the.
All right, I will untap.
Oh no.
Draw.
I would hate to play it like that. That would suck. I see something sideways, so I can get rid of that Mufasa. I just need something sideways.
I'll play.
Don't tap anything. Don't tap anything.
Flynn Rider. And
Ooh.
then I will also play Aladdin, so everyone loses 1 lore. And then
Yeah, I'm thinking we may have to go to the 20. Lord.
I want to play Stitch and deal 2 damage to the Tinkerbell. So Stitch is when you play this character, you may deal 2 damage to a chosen character.
Alright.
And then I will quest for 1 and
Oh,
pass
don't tap
turn.
them. Don't tap them.
Wait, why?
That's alright.
Tinkerbell.
That's right.
Nah,
Now
that's bad.
Tinkerbell's a fair trade now, so I'm not gonna do the way I was gonna do. I was gonna do it the
Oh, okay.
long, hard, annoying way.
What'd you do? What'd you gain, Prashaun?
Just 1 lore.
1.
And everybody lost. I don't know if you already did it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got everybody lost.
That's it. Then pass turn.
All right. I'll get 1 from Elsa's Ice Palace. Draw for turn. I don't understand how Tinkerbell gets rid of Mufasa.
He has something else to do damage.
I mean, do you want to know? Do you want to see it real quick? Because I'm gonna play it next turn. I have the way out.
You have the way out.
I have the way out. I mean, I'm just gonna show you this card.
I mean, if
and
you just
that's all I
have
need.
it,
Yeah, I just have this
Destroys a
guy.
damage creature.
Yeah, and I have a way to damage. So.
I see. So you don't need help.
I mean, I just need to get a damage on it, but I have my way, so you don't have to worry about it.
All right.
That Mufasa will go bye-bye. We will not let that person get back. Like,
come
Mufasa
on, he's
will
not-
not.
He's not that bad.
The moment Mufasa goes sideways, the game is over, so we can't do that.
10 for Tala.
Ooh.
Increase the ink tax. We will ink a Pascal to gain 1 lore.
Yep.
And I will pass my turn.
All right, sweet. We'll go ready up, draw. I think that's fun too. Yeah, I originally would have liked to smack something and then do it, but it's okay. We're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. We're gonna sing "Grab Your Sword."
I guess so.
Yeah, we'll just. And then with the 5, I'm gonna pay the extra 2 and then play Anna to banish the Mufasa. And then everything takes 2 damage.
Yeah. Prashaun, on your board.
Everything. And the Grandma Tala.
Locations excluded.
Locations excluded, yes. And then that palace has how much? How many? What's the
4.
4?
Ice Palace 4, yeah.
Okay, cool. So we can do a fun little activity here of playing. This card was just a fun found. I was just going through the binder. We'll do for 5. We'll play Fairy Godmother.
Mm-hmm.
And then whenever she quests, I can give a character challenge, Challenger 3, and it also will say when this character is banished in a challenge, return the card to my hand. So if I quest with Fairy Godmother, smack something, give Challenger 3, smack it, and if my card gets I just get it to my hand. So it's pretty neat. And then 2, I can't really do much else. And then we will. Well, Wait, what's the tower again? 4 or 5?
4.
4.
Oh.
We'll just smack Pete and the prince in there, and get rid of that castle location.
Ice Palace.
Yeah. And then I have 1 card in hand, and that's all I can do. Pass.
All right, you got rid of my Mufasa once.
We can do it again, I guess. It's not a bad thing to play it, right? Like, because you're just getting your things back.
Yeah.
So it's like a double-edged sword, really. But like, I'm okay with draw 2 versus hands back.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so Breezy, how many cards are in hand?
1.
1. Prashaun? How many cards are in hand?
5.
And then GC, how many cards are in hand?
7.
Wow.
Gosh, how do you have so many cards?
I don't know what that's like.
All right, let's see. All right, so we're gonna do. Anybody have anything with 1 power?
I do.
You do.
The prince.
Well, technically, Stitch does. I think it's 1 power. Yeah.
Challenger 3 bounce back. Oh, that's a fun one. Okay.
So we're gonna ink Fang. We're going to tap 5 for Lucifer. So whenever you play this character, each opponent chooses and discards either 2 cards or 1 action card.
I'm discarding a Pegasus, the only card in my hand.
Ooh. Guess we'll discard 2.
Okay.
Hey Hey and Hercules.
GC?
I will discard 2.
Okay. Guys got some
Duke
actions they like.
Weaselton and Aurora.
No.
All right, I'm going to hypnotize. Each player discards a card and I draw a card.
Dang, you just wow. That's all. Wow. Only if Prince John was on play. Wow. That's like 3, 3, 1. Wow.
I'll ditch Judy.
Oh. I guess I'll discard Break.
All right. Tap 3 for little Sisu. So I guess Breezy, whatever your 1 power card is.
Goodbye,
Is
Prince.
gone.
Gone into the purple rain.
What else you got over there, Breezy? You got Pete.
I got Pete, Tinkerbell, Anna, and Fairy Godmother. Do you need the stats for any of them?
God, no. I don't like that fairy godmother though.
Oh, come on.
Question
Shout
is,
out to Atlanta.
Do I
Remember
want-
DLC?
Oh my lord. I don't think so. Because you're just gonna be getting your cards back. So we're gonna sing. We don't talk about Bruno on it. And then with my last 3
Shit, too.
Just gonna play.
Oh.
I'm gonna play the Emerald Chromacon.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And that is all I got for this turn. That's her.
Comic-Con is not once per turn, right?
No, it's just on your opponent's turn.
Wow.
Whenever one of your characters is banished, you may return chosen character to the player's hand.
Okay. How does that happen with like board wipes? Do we know?
They technically all would go away. So like a be prepared, you wouldn't be able to target anything because it would go into the bag. Be prepared would resolve, then it would go.
Gotcha. Okay.
But if you like grabbed your swords and took down like 3 of my guys, then I could target 3 others. And we're still alive after the grab your swords.
Okay, got it.
Oh, were you done, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay. So untap. I'll draw for turn. Tap 3. I'll play Great Stone Dragon. And I will play Ariel.
Ooh, another one.
And then I could tap Stone Dragon this turn, right?
No, Stone Dragon comes in and play tapped.
Oh, never mind. He does. He's asleep. My bad. Pass turn.
Stone Dragon's an item, right?
Yep.
And items are not characters.
Right.
I will draw a card for turn.
He just has text. It just has text on it that says it comes in play exerted.
Yeah.
All right. So just for reference, we're coming up on an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay.
So there's. Oops, I forgot to untap. Oops. There are 3 characters exerted in play right now.
See.
3.
Okay. Cool.
Olaf.
Yep. So that's 6 I need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
God, I love these cards.
And then
I love the 9 drops. They're so good. Oh, these are so fun.
I didn't even think about that one being really good in this format.
we will then ink Anna,
Ooh.
which gets me a Grandma lore.
17. Grandma's 4/8. Jeez.
We will use this 6 to play Kit Cloud Kicker, the Navigator.
Oh.
Ward.
2/5. Wow.
I'll tap Grandma for 2. And that will pass my turn.
Already up. And I don't know if I want to deal with this board. I just want to quest because I feel like I'm just gonna draw for turn.
I think it's about to turn into a race.
I mean, like the only thing is, it's like the B prepped is like right there, you know. And it's like, we'll do. I can't believe I'm about to say these words. For 7, we'll just hard cast Friends on the Other Side. Draw 2 more.
Just 7 ink, draw 2.
And I mean, at this point, might as well.
All right.
Like,
I'm gonna draw 1 off the.
yeah.
contract.
And then, cause like I have 12, so like most of my cards I can play now. It's not that bad. I like it. Yeah, I mean, I'll just quest for 5.
Okay.
And with the rest of my ink, I think I just want to see if I can get a board wipe in play and then play Beast here. And pass. I got 2 in hand.
All right. Untap. Draw. I'm gonna make Prashaun do it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna tap 8 for Tamatoa.
Ooh. Wow.
I'm gonna grab Great Stone Dragon. I think is what I want. I don't care too much about the hands anymore. And Inkcaster's fine. Grab Stone Dragon. We will tap 3 for Stone Dragon. Then tap 3 for the Sword Released. So the Sword Released, if you haven't seen it, it's an item at the start of your turn. If you have a character in play with more power than each opposing character in play, each opponent loses 1 lore and you gain lore equal to the lore lost.
Absolute bonkers.
It's kind of like similar to like a Flynn in a way.
But it's like you lose 3, gain 3 situation there.
Yeah. That's only if I have the strongest character. That may take a minute. And then we will ink a Tipo turn. And then we will quest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'll pass the turn to you, Prashaun.
All right, I will
cards in
untap. Draw for turn. I will tap Great Stone Wall. Get a character to ink. So we'll do Gaston. Is it exerted?
He exerts when you did, yeah, and the ink is exerted.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Guess I'll play.
Gonna board wipe?
No, not yet. Sheriff of Nottingham. So whenever I discard, whenever I discard a card, I deal 1 damage to chosen opposing character.
Breezy, what do you have on the board? You have
8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ink.
Wait, what?
Sorry, 6 lore.
I have 2, 3. I have 6, 7.
Honest 2.
Honest 2, yes.
And I guess I'll quest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no. I'll quest for 4. And pass turn.
Hmm.
All right, I will ready set. Draw for turn. Okay. Let me count real quick. I have 12 ink. I will spend 1, 2, 3, 4 ink for Dolorious. One of my opponents does have an exerted character in play, so I will draw a card.
you about to win?
30? Ooh, close.
Like if he has a couple inking spells.
Oh yeah, that's true. We can get there.
We will ink a Gyro Gearloose to go up by 1 with Tala. 1, 2, 3,
Ooh.
4, 5, 6, 7. We will spend 7 to play Simba, Fighting Prince.
Ooh.
We will use his draw 2, discard 2.
Looking, he's searching.
Was looking for some ramp.
All right, I'm discarding a Grandma Taller, Keeper of Ancient Stories, and an Ursula's Lair.
Ooh.
3, 6, 8 quest. Pass my
Ooh.
turn.
Wow. Okay. Wow. 28.
Didn't find it. I was I was digging.
Oh boy. All right. Well, I mean, I'm gonna draw 2 because of the beast.
Mhm.
And I mean, I'd be silly. I mean, yeah, I'd be silly if I played any other cards on the board right now. So we're gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 into a friends on the other side to draw 2 more.
I'll draw 1.
Sure. And then, I mean, dude, I'm gonna do this just because I can. For 4 more, we're gonna rabbit draw a card. And then we'll go sideways for 6, 7, get to 24. And that is it.
All right. Going to untap. Draw. All right. Let me see if I calculated this right.
You might have game.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Tamatoa is huge.
Yeah.
And then that puts me at 25, and Tamatoa can quest for 7, which puts me over 30.
There it is.
Yeah.
Come from
There
behind.
it is.
Come
Jeez.
from behind.
That's kind of why we had hit dirty, right? Is like you can get board states in this format where like jumping up 10 lore is easy.
Yeah, definitely
yeah.
possible.
Yeah, I mean, I think my only take would be just no B prep and you have no problems. Because like there was like 2 B preps
Yeah.
in the game, and like there was board states where like the game would have ended in like 3 turns if didn't get B prepped that time. So
Yeah.
if no B prepped, I think the game continued. Like, yeah.
Yeah, because I think at that point, like, all right, so we're 4 minutes shy of 2 hours
Right.
for
Not
reference. I agree with you. It's one of those things where like B preps on our potential watch list of being in the story board just because it's so easy to get to it. The problem is if it's not there, like I worry about just somebody doing some crazy aggro deck. And then just like if you don't have swords, if you don't have whatever, you're just gonna lose.
But then yeah, you have cards like swords though, and like you have like Pirate's Life. You can like lore manipulation is real, and like there's other options to answer aggro. I think in just these 3.
Yeah.
So
I definitely want to see in our whether it's next week or the week after, we'll figure out everybody's schedule. I know Breezy, you want to get your other guy on here as well. So
Yeah.
like I definitely want to do a week where we don't have a B prep in the storyboard and kind of see what that looks like in the game state.
yeah.
Because I would agree with you. Like I said, I think Mufasa's on the watch list. I think B prep is on the watch list, specifically for your storyboard. And then Prince John's Mirror is kind of on my maybe watch list. It's really bad if you get it on turn 3.
Oh yeah, but like, again, that's like one of those interesting things where it's like when you play those multiplayer games, if your opponent opens the cards,
Yeah.
you lose. Like they're just if they open their perfect curve, there's not much you can do. So like, I think that's part of it though. But like, cards that you can't interact with, like B prep, is where the problem comes in. I think it's just like, all right, game refreshed. Wow. But Mufasa, it's you never quested, so
Yeah, and again, it's one of those things where like the only reason I have him in the potential watch list is more so his ability to get your ink back. So like for instance, I did not get it, but I was hiding my dime and my aerial into my ink, knowing that at some point I may be able to pull it back.
But that's gambling. You gotta gamble.
Yeah. So
you whiffed, so
yeah. So again, I think a lot of these cards are just going to come down to a lot of testing. Like even like Diablo, right? Like I don't think he's that bad, but at the same time, like he's a card just to be aware of, being as an ally. But,
yeah.
I also don't want to just like go through and just ban a whole bunch of cards to
I
start.
think what you could do is you can have like legendary cards can't be allies.
Yeah.
Because like then Diablo has to be your main hero, and then you can still play it. Because like then like I don't know, maybe
it also takes away like Clarabelle from being your ally as well.
Yeah, those two cards I thought about having allies, and like I think that would have been, I don't know.
It may also be one of those calls, like I always think of like ban announcements in Magic. There's another reason why they ban cards, which is when they're being used too often. So like wanting a format that's different. So they'll ban a card or whatever just because it's being overly used. And I do think Diablo has the potential to fall into that category as an ally. Or just he is probably the best ally.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I think this is because like if I had a different legendary like Bell or something else, then this also like crazy.
Yeah.
But Giant Tick as a ally is crazy as well. So, but it's a 6 cost. So like I'm paying Giant Tick for 10. It's like wow, good luck.
I know the tap 8, tap 9 to draw 2 cards felt really good, right?
It felt incredible because I have so many. So it's like
Oh.
whatever. Go ahead. I love that one. That one was fun.
All right.
Yeah, that is one thing that I kind of want to play around with, and maybe look at this deck, or maybe look at building a new deck where the storyboard is specifically cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so that you can really like the ink tax. Okay, yeah, it's there, but you're starting off quicker than everybody else too. Because I mean, like, I was calculating grandma there, and it was like, okay, well, I can at least get her on board. If I can get her on board and then ink, that's one lure, you know. So she's kind of nice, but still paying 10, paying 11 for her kind of hurts.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so that was kind of our first official recorded streamed game of Heroic. So we're gonna go around the room just real quick, get everybody's thoughts. What do they think they liked? Any comments or thoughts around the format, whether that's the lore we're going to, the ink, cards, anything like that. Just let us know feedback. And I'll start with you, Breezy, because I know Prashaun and GC we played before, so we've talked about some of these, but I want to get your perspective, man. Like, what's your thoughts here? Did you enjoy it? Are there things you would want to see changed?
Yes, fantastic format. I love this format. This is really fun. I get to do like Bell bounce 3 damage into, like, there's a lot of fun interaction. You get to like Robin Hood into Shift. Robin Hood was one of the coolest things I got to do for lore for. It was really fun. The only 2 things that I get rid of prep and have a like the commander win con, where it's like the 21 lore, the 21 damage you win kind of deal. You can do a thing where if your tax hits 30 you win as well somehow if the game goes too far, or 20, but like not necessarily like, because like if it's a 7, like if it's up to 20, I think there might be a winnable extra con that'd be interesting to do, so people can go figure, like, do something with that maybe. Other than that, really fun format. There's a lot to do. For my gameplay wise, I think all my amethyst cards were perfectly picked. I loved every purple card I saw in my hand. I think the emerald cards, there's a lot more that I saw you play, where I was like, oh, of course I should play that one. That one's so much better.
Yeah, yeah.
And like the items are definitely something to be looking out for. I'm feared for all the items because there's not a lot of removal.
Yeah, I mean, but they're really like if you really look into it, like your blue Cusco can remove items, your Welcome can remove items.
Yeah.
Judy Hops can remove items. You have Platinum. So like Steel has
There's options.
5 or 6. So it
If I
is in
really-
multiple colors, which helps. Like I agree with you. Like there isn't a lot, but there's at least a couple in every color.
Yeah.
You just have to kind of look for them.
And let me play Cusco. Let me play the blue Cusco. Let me figure it out. Let me do that because that really hurt my feelings. I was like, because I would have played Cusco. That would have been perfect because that's the exact same. Like I wanted not only Cusco is one of my it is my favorite card,
Yeah.
but item removal, item and location removal is exactly why I wanted to play that card.
Mhm.
And when you said I can, I was like, there goes my game plan. But yeah, no, I think that's the only bias.
He seems like he should be a legendary with as much as stuff as he does. Like Anna, like you figure he would have been the legendary over Merlin or something.
Yes,
but-
I agree. But I'm biased, so I can't really have opinions when it comes to Cusco, other than like, yeah, of course, dub. So, but yeah, that's a fantastic format. And thank you for having me on. This was a blast. I love exploring formats, and I would love to be back on and do this.
Yeah.
I will fix this deck. I know what is missing. I figured it out. So
Absolutely. So, Prashaun, over to you, man. What'd you think about the games? I know, again, we played a couple in the past and things, but how'd you feel about it today now that you're kind of re-coming back to it after a little bit of time?
I should have played Be Prepared again. I should have did that. Nah, well, I don't know. Maybe the lore. Well, I guess if we take Be Prepared out, maybe 20 lore will still be fine with 4 people.
I think B Prep 30 might take.
Yeah, so I think with Be Prep 30, I think without it, I think 20 might work.
I think you're saying with
Because
B
then-
Prep, you'd want 20, but without it, you'd want 30 because you're going to have a little less board control.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that might work. The speed of the game.
Yeah, I definitely want to see potentially next week just having whoever's playing next week, having it to where B Prep is not going to be into the storyboard just to see what those games look like. Because I'm gonna bring something spicy and fun, I'm sure.
Heck yeah.
Another 100 card spiciness.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to unsleeve all these and go find other colors. GC, how about you, man?
Yeah, absolute blast. I love it all the time. Yeah, the B prepped discussion, right? Like, it is kind of very similar to a whole new world where having it right there at access just can feel oppressive. It felt more oppressive this time, and I think for me, maybe that was because in the other playtest we also had Brave New World, so like a board wipe would happen, but then I would also get a recharge. You know, so maybe that's why it didn't feel as oppressive last time. But it's also kind of interesting to note, right? Like we're looking at these storyboard bans specifically about how it feels to play in the format.
Yeah.
Prashaun's in last place. I think when we did the play test, Whole New World came in 3rd.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's definitely interesting there, but I think that's more healthy, especially for like the point of this format, right? It's not. I don't know. I don't know other TCGs, but I can't imagine taking a Highlander, a Singleton 100 card deck to any serious level of competition, right? It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be that multiplayer experience. And it is just like one of my favorite things was just asking you a question about like, okay, that 0-1, should I be scared of this? And then hearing Breezy be like, oh, I'm going to tink that. Don't you worry. And it was like, oh, well, now you don't even realize, but you've empowered me to clear more of this board because I know a tink's coming down. So I'll knock off these 4 healths.
And that's one of the biggest things.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing about this format is it's the politicking, but again, I don't think it necessarily has to be like super detailed in that, but at the same time, like it is a different feeling. And a lot of cards, when we talk about bans and stuff, like in general and going forward, it is going to be the feeling of the card. And I would agree with Breezy. Like, I don't think Be Prepared is a quote unquote problematic card for what it does as far as wiping a board. I think the feel bad of it is like there was several turns, and Breezy even said this during one of the turns, like, I guess I'm just not going to play anything else on the board and I'm just going to quest, assuming that Be Prepared's coming next turn, right? Like, so there's a lot of times where you're just having to play awkwardly, because they have it sitting there at any point they can cast it.
Should be on the 97 though, absolutely. 97. Like, if you draw it, you did it, you know. But
I still legitimately think the strongest deck in this format is Dalmatian Puppy. I seriously think you put the right cards in your storyboard, 97 puppies or close to it, and go for it.
Bruno.
I'm gonna definitely try that one of these weeks as the card. We got them on order. A bunch of puppies on the way. But yeah, I think Cruella. I think it's just gonna be fun trying out different cards, different combos. Again, I really enjoyed messing with my deck with, like, and you guys got to see it a little bit, but Tamatoa, Great Stone Dragon, Mufasa. You can literally, hopefully, hide your cards into your ink, bring them back with Mufasa. Stone Dragon, if it were to like get banished, can put them back in your ink. So there's a lot of ways to kind of interact with that. I hope in the future we get more cards.
Trying to do the same, but
Mufasa,
it didn't last that long.
So, and
I had a lucky dime too, so I was hoping to play that too, but everyone raced towards the end.
Well, that and like, you know, there was the one turn where like I knew because of Diablo, I knew that GC had the item wipe, so like I had to play a couple decent but bad items throughout there just so he saw like 3 or 4 items to take them out. Like, so it opened a few more.
In that too, I wonder, I might see about switching it out and bringing it next time, but I wonder if Find 'em, Trample 'em might end up with the same kind of feeling. From what I can tell, like not a lot of Lorcana decks go heavy in items, but if that's in your storyboard and someone brought a heavy item deck, like it's just a full no-go, right?
I think that would be one of those cards where like you would have to know somebody is heavy on items. I think there's a handful of good items, but without getting Tamatoa, and Tamatoa is not legendary and he's not an ally, meaning he has to be in your 97. I think it's gonna be a lot better in the fact that somebody's not just gonna go like, here's a whole bunch of items, I'm gonna throw it on Tamatoa, next turn quest for 20. You know what I mean?
Yeah, every Lorcana deck is going to have multiple characters they're looking to play down. Not every Lorcana deck wants to play multiple items down. So,
I appreciate all you guys for hanging out with us, playing the first ever inaugural heroic battle, episode 1. So we're gonna come back. Breezy, I'll get with you to see if next week works for you, and I keep forgetting this.
Hit up Impact. Let him know. Yeah, if Impact's down, I'm down. So let me know.
All right, so we'll either be back next week or the week after. We'll get a cadence with the games. If you didn't get to see the whole game or anything like that, I'm gonna go back, grab the recording. I'm gonna add some cards on top of it, so when people play some, you can see what people are playing. And then we'll get that out on Friday. So if you ever want to check these out, the following Friday they'll be out. And if you didn't know, I don't know if you know this, Breezy. I think you do. I think you've seen it. We are giving away a D23. Anybody still hanging with us?
Ooh. The D23. Hold on, I'm just making my board look pretty for the camera. You know, just gonna make some.
So we're giving one of these bad boys away this Friday. We're gonna be closing the entries. So if you haven't done it, hit that sub button over on the YouTube, leave a comment on any video, and every video you comment on is an entry to win this thing.
Oh, hello. Every video I comment on.
Every video you comment on is an entry. Not every comment on a video, but every video you comment on, including old videos.
Get one of these in there.
Yeah. So you can get one of those. We'll be picking names on Saturday. So Friday, we're going to close it down at 11:55 that night. Saturday, I'll run it through our picker. We'll pick someone, then we'll be shipping it out. I've already got one all packed up, ready to go get shipped out. and we'll be giving it to a lucky winner. So we are closing in on 1,000 subs, man.
Let's go.
We are excited about that, and tomorrow I'll have my market watch out because today I was so busy I didn't get to do it.
Foils are up, baby.
Man, it's
Get your
crazy what this market
foils.
does.
Get your foils. If you want to play foils, play them.
You know those puppies are going to skyrocket when this format catches on, right?
Right.
Bruno
Nothing but
into
puppies.
97 puppies.
Yeah. So, then you get Mufasa as your legendary. So when he dies, you just get a free puppy.
Get a free puppy.
But anyway, guys, I know it's getting late. We're at the getting close to 11 o'clock. So I want to go around the room one last time. Let them know, anybody that's still watching, hanging out with us, let them know where they can find you, because I know we all stream, we all do stuff. So Breezy, man, where can they find you?
People can find me on Twitter at yBreezyS and twitch.tv/yBreezy. I do a little fun show with Impact TCG called Lorcana After Dark, where we talk about everything Lorcana related and not Lorcana related, because it's more than that. We're just a bunch of goobers who just have more interests and all that stuff. So I want to get to know people, and we have fun content creators chat up about their favorite fast food restaurant to what decks they're playing. So hit us up on Tuesday, Thursdays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. at twitch.tv/yBreezy.
Right. All right, we'll go over to Prashaun. Where can they find you, man? I know you're doing all that Snap content.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube under Prashaun, and then of course Twitter Prashaun_Snap, and then on Twitch Prashaun. Once I reach partner, I'll start playing other games other than Snap. I think we're pretty close, so I'll have the freedom to do whatever. But that's where you can find me for the most part.
Awesome. And last but not least, over to GC, who also has the Snap stuff going on, but also a lot of other things.
Yeah. I'm GC Jesse, JeeseJames, however you want to pronounce it. And you can find me over on the YouTubes, on the Twitters, but primarily on Twitch at JeeseJames. I am not pushing for partners, so I do have the freedom to do whatever I want. So we got some Marvel Snap, we got Mario, we've got Lorcana, Once Upon a Galaxy, a brand new game coming out. So check me out live most days, and there's no telling. Yes, that's right. Every stream, you out there in chat can fish. And there's actually prizes in there. Folks don't realize that there are Marvel Snap gold packs in the fishing pond. They're just extremely rare. They get pulled about once every other week, and that's primarily because folks are not fishing.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, so if you guys haven't already done it, go find all these YouTube channels, hit them up, follow them, make some comments, all the good stuff to help out the algorithm. And like I said, myself, you can find me here on Twitch, twitch.tv/defaultdan, or more importantly, the Incast over on YouTube. So youtube.com/@the@sign.
Let's get that 1,000.
Let's get that one.
We are under 100 to get there, so we're over 900 already.
Oh, nice.
Slowly increasing it. We've got the market watches that usually come out on Wednesdays. Today, a little slower because we had the new heroic video that came out this morning plus this, but tomorrow you'll get your weekly market watch. And then Friday, you'll get the recap of the stream from today, as well as I'm working on another explainer video for Heroic. It's more of a going over the rules and things like that compared to the fun one that we did this time around. So again, appreciate all you guys for hanging out with me and just enjoying this new format that we're playing around with.
Heck yeah.
Appreciate you guys. I'm going to see if there's anybody streaming some Lorcana.
Ooh.
Yeah. Who we raiding, Dan? We'll double up on this.
Oh yeah, GC, you're streaming it too.
Oh, the Illuminators are on right now. Are they still live? No. I think they're about to finish up.
If I plug it in, I've got freaking Loki. No, that's Pokemon and Dead by Daylight. Don't use the Lorcana tag. All right, let's see. We got Mayor.
They got the Illuminators about to end the show.
Is it Mayor Madness?
Yeah, what's where are the Lumineers at?
Yeah,
They
I don't
are.
see any Lorcana though, right?
they're
Yeah, I
good.
see him in
Oh wait,
Lorcana.
I see him now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he?
Want to run over there?
Yeah.
We'll send our people.
Oh, Snapcaster Toby's in here. I know him.
Yeah, he's been hanging out. All right, so we'll raid over there.
The Limiteers are lovely people.
Yeah, they were on your LAD the other day, right?
Yeah.
Raid.
Deal. Well, guys, it's been fun. Folks out there in chat, either over on the Inkcast, my channel, or anywhere, thank you so much for hanging out. We're gonna raid out, and I'll see all you guys in the comments and the Discords later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys. All right, let's
Yeah.
send that raid over.